we got to talk about this brutal schedule for the Los Angeles Dodgers, because this next 4 weeks, 5 weeks is going to go a long way in determining whether or not the Dodgers will win the division, whether or not they'll finish with the best record in Major League Baseball and get home field advantage. Let's not forget that, yes, even though the Dodgers won 98 games and it wasn't your typical 100-win Dodgers season, they still finished with the best record in baseball. And that did lead to 2 home wins against the Yankees and a walk-off bomb salami from Frederick Freeman, right? So, I mean, that is something I still think you want to pursue. I'm all for trying to have the best record in baseball. And this stretch that's coming up for the Dodgers, it's going to be brutal. Make no mistake about it. Tonight, you start a 3-game series with the New York Mets. And in that series, you're going up against one of the best pitching staffs in baseball right now. And the Dodgers, you're going with guys that have had some down starts recently. So the Dodgers have Clayton Kershaw, Tony Gonsolin, and Landon Knack going this series. All of them aren't coming off deep starts where they've been at their best. Hopefully, Tony Gonsolin, it was the blister thing, the bloody thumb thing, and he can get back to the Tony Smokes, the Gunslinger that we saw in the first couple of starts where you saw a lot of strikeouts and swing and misses. Landon Knack, he's giving up home runs at a higher clip than he has in his career. Hopefully you get a better start from him. Clayton Kershaw, it's going to be his second start back. So the velocity was okay. The slider didn't have the same depth and bite that we've seen it, but hopefully in his second start it's better. But you're going up against a Mets pitching staff that has the best rotation as far as ERA in all of Major League Baseball. You got Griffin Canning this season, a 2.47 ERA. He's given up just 10 runs in his last 7 games. Then you take on David Peterson, who's allowed just 1 run in his last start in 6 innings against a very hot New York Yankees offense. And then you go against Kodai Senga, who is Yamamoto's biggest competition right now for the Cy Young in the National League, sporting a 1.43 ERA. So the pitching advantage has to go to the Mets early in this one, but you are looking at a Mets team that is just 30-20, right? They have 1 less win than the Dodgers, and they've gone 2-4 in their last 6 games. So they've gone 2-4 in the last 6 games. They're trying to really get right against this Dodgers team, kind of avenge that loss in the NLCS, or of course you'll avenge it in the regular season. But look, it's going to be a sellout. It's going to be a amped up game, 3 nationally televised games in this one. So look, this is going to be the biggest series in baseball over the next 3 days. And kind of the big factor for me is, do you get quality starting pitching from your starters? Does Juan Soto wake up? I mean, he has been terrible, around 129 weighted runs created plus, but hasn't been the $765 million man, right? He's been so-so for Soto, and this year he's hitting 243, 347, 429, has 8 home runs. That's well below his career average. I mean, in his career average is 283. Batting average, that's down to 243. On base, slug, all that's down. So we'll see if he comes alive this series. But you go past that, and then you kind of start to break down this stretch. Well, the Dodgers, for the rest of the way, they have the 8th easiest schedule. 23 out of 30 teams, 4 games remaining. And right now, the Dodgers, you have 112 games remaining. And the toughest in that stretch, you got the Phillies, the Yankees, the Mets, 7 against the Mets, 13 against the Giants, Mariners, if you count that as 3, and they have 13 still against the San Diego Padres. Their easiest opponents down that stretch are, you got 10 against the Rockies, 3 against the White Sox, 3 against the Pirates, 3 against the Orioles, 3 against the Nationals, and 3 against the Tampa Bay Rays. But what makes this stretch so difficult is it's coming at a time when you don't have your best pitching depth. I mean, when you look at where the Dodgers are at right now and their rotation, Yamamoto, he's pitching at a Cy Young level. He was fantastic, took a no-hitter into the 7th inning his last start. Dustin May's coming off, I think, really one of the best starts of his entire career against the Diamondbacks. Gave up just a solo home run to Ketel Marte. Then after that, Tony Gonsolin, Clayton Kershaw, Landon Knack. So with this stretch right here, you're looking at 6 games on the road that start tonight against the Mets and the Guardians. And those are good teams. And then after that, you're looking at a stretch of games where it only gets harder. You're coming home to face the Yankees and a primetime matchup for 3 that starts a week from today on Friday, a 3-game set against the Yankees, and then the Mets come to town for 4 games. Then you go on the road to face St. Louis, and then 3 against San Diego, and then you have the Giants at home starting on June 13th, a 3-game series, and then a 4-game series against the Padres that begins June 16th, and then a 3-game home set against the Nationals. That's the easiest in that stretch. So you look at the matchups that are starting tonight. You got Mets, you got Guardians, you got Yankees, you got Cardinals, Padres, Giants, and then Padres once again. So if you look at that stretch, all of those opponents are above 500. And all of them are teams that either are locks to be in the postseason or teams that are fighting for the postseason. And then you factor in that the Dodgers in that stretch have just 2 days off. You're looking at just 2 days off during that stretch. You've got next Thursday off, and then you've got the Thursday off on June 12th in between the Padres and the Giants. So that's not a good time to not have your depth. And you also factor, that's a 19 games and 20 games through June 11th. And then that's a 38-game stretch over a 41-day span. So lots of good teams, lots of teams with winning records. And you look at the bullpen right now. Outside of Tanner Scott and Alex Vesia, you're really missing your go-to high-leverage arms. Blake Trinan's not available. Evan Phillips is not available. You could get Michael Kopech, and you should get Michael Kopech, quite frankly, at some point during the next couple of weeks during this stretch. Anthony Bonda hasn't pitched well like he did last season. Your Kirby Yates is out with a hamstring injury. Your best high-leverage right-handed reliever is Ben Kasparius, and he's been really, really good for sure. He was fantastic the other night, coming in with runners on the corners and getting the strikeout to end the inning with a nasty slider down the zone. But you're going to need guys to step up. And I think during this stretch, you're going to see a lot of guys going up and down from Oklahoma City. We could see some DFAs. I'm curious to see how Lou Trevino looks, because Lou Trevino, he, in 2 appearances, looks like he could be a guy that could almost be like a Johan Ramirez type, and at best be hopefully a Ryan Brazier type or an Evan Phillips type, right? Someone that came to the Dodgers, implemented that cutter, and is immediately having more success with it. So it's not going to be easy, but the beauty of this is if you can get through this gauntlet, if you can get through this brutal stretch, 20 games in 21 days, then you have the easiest schedule on paper in the mix for that after this stretch. And that is absolutely what you want to do right now. Is look, if you play 500 baseball for the next 4 or 5 weeks, if you play over 500 baseball for the next 4 or 5 weeks, you're going to be getting Shohei Ohtani back, Blake Snell, Tyler Glasnow. Guys are going to get healthy. The bullpen guys, a good chunk of them, hopefully will be returning, and you'll get those reinforcements on the way, and they'll stay back. So that really is where they're at right now. I'm sure you're probably going to see Justin Robleski. Bobby Miller had a really good start. Maybe you see him. Do they give Nick Frasso an opportunity? The Noah Davis, Ryan Ludis. Get ready to learn some names. Get ready to see some guys you might not have seen. But like I said, the beauty of all this is after you take on these 8 straight opponents that have winning percentages above 500, the Dodgers are going to have the lightest schedule in the sport after this stretch. So buckle up. Let's try to do your best right now. And look, if the losses start to pile up, you just kind of have to tread water at the very least. And then look, there's no reason why. Shohei Ohtani is hot right now. Freddie Freeman, Mookie Betts is trending up. The MV3 looks like they're healthy and they can carry. It just, can they get the pitching? I mean, we just don't know what you're going to get out of Clayton Kershaw and Landon Knack. I think we have a good idea about what Tony Gonsolin, Dustin May can bring. And Yamamoto is Yamamoto, right? But, I mean, you're missing so many guys. Roki, Glasnow, Snell. Shohei's not back. So get to the All-Star break. Get to the All-Star break, and you will be just fine after this stretch. This is the tough stretch. This is where you're kind of, I mean, you're playing Street Fighter, and instead of facing Dalzim in the first round or Blanca, I mean, Blanca's pretty hard on hard, but it's like you're facing M. Bison and Saget, but it's kind of towards the beginning of the game, not towards the end, right? It's not going to be easy, but if you can make it through this stretch at a decent clip, you're going to be fine for the rest of the way, at least on paper. Let me know down below in the comments section, how confident are you the Dodgers play above 500 baseball during this stretch of games? A $5 super chat, out of the entire Dodgers roster, who do you think is the most hung with the bit? Oh, come on, man. You're getting a bruh. Gonna get a bruh. Come on now, man.
Bruh.
You might get a ban for that. You're actually probably gonna get a ban for that, not gonna lie. We got Prone to Thrill. I'd sure like to hear that Sheehan has come back to replace Now. Yeah, you're gonna see him. I mean, Dave Roberts said that he was a pick to click at some point during the summer, so he's certainly going to make his way back. Edgardo Henriquez is pitching better as well, so don't forget about that as far as his rehab. He's throwing to Arizona. I mean, Blake Trinan picking up a ball. I mean, things are looking okay for sure, but still, LOL, that one funny. Way to get banned. Nando. I know. Look, man, you got to realize the players watch the show, okay? So the team watch. You guys got to be on your best behavior sometimes, for sure. But if we need to have a party, you have a Blanc party. Anthony Keene, that stretch of Vega and then Saget would take hours, bro. I'm still traumatized. Yeah, when Vega, it's like, you got Vega, and I only play Street Fighter on the hardest level. Hadouken! Step-by-step Hadouken! All you can. I mean, I only play on the hard level, and when you see Vega climbing on the fence, and you only need to hit him one more time with like a dragon punch, and he climbs on the fence, and then he ends you that way. It's the most demoralizing loss for sure. But all right, guys, coming up next, it's Q and LA Dodgers Dugout Live Mailbag. Got a lot of good ones this week. If you guys want to submit a question, I drop the post on the YouTube comment section, also in the Discord. Also, hit me up on Twitter, and we will include you on the show. So lots of really good questions. We're going to get on to that also later. Down on the Farm Friday, got something with Jackson Ferris. We'll also talk some Bueller here on a jam-packed episode, a Friday edition, a Dodgers-Mets leading up to edition. It's going to be exciting, man. Citi Field, Dodgers, Mets. I'm ready. I'm ready to have the same success as they had in the NLCS.